In this video, I want to talk about some of the connections between Chaldean numerology and Vedic mysticism in a way that's very, very practical to help you understand the shortcut, the key to what you need to do to get the most out of life in the fastest way possible, the shortcut. And I'm going to be using these two systems to explain this because I've been studying Chaldean numerology intensely. I'm doing a master's certification, and there is so much wisdom in the numbers, and I'm based on the wisdom of the information I've already had over 10 years of studying this. I have a really good reference point and seeing, oh my gosh, this all is all connected. It's not like there's numerology over here, there's mysticism over there. They're actually, it's the same language, just a number of mathematics. So in Chaldean numerology, there's something called the numeroscope. You have the essence chart, which is your birthday. You have your psyche chart, which is based on the birthday. You have your name chart, which is based on your name. You have a vocation chart, which is kind of what you attract, is based on the vowels of your name. And you have the personality chart, which is based on the consonants of the name, which is more about your outer visible personality, your charisma. There's 5 charts total. Now, the essence chart is the chart that is aligned with the soul. And then the other charts come later down the line of more of the layers of how the soul expresses itself. And so in studying these charts, I become very, very obsessed with the essence chart. I started studying all the charts, and I realized the essence chart, and I know I'm going to be using a little numerology lingo here, but this is to set this up, so bear with me. The essence chart, which is your month, day, year, and your life path, which is the culmination of those 3 digits. And there's some other calculations in the essence as well. That's the gist. Something about was really pulled to the essence chart. And as I started studying it, dissecting it, really understanding it, I realized all the other charts are fractals off of the essence chart, and the same mechanics of the essence chart. Once you understand it, it's the key that unlocks the understanding to all the other charts. That's part of it. But then the essence chart has something called like your success codes. What you're supposed to, your soul wants to align with, your soul's desires, your soul's motivations, your soul, the way it's supposed to behave, the way it's supposed to think, the way it's supposed to feel, the way it's supposed to express emotions, the way it's supposed to orient the context of what it's doing, the big why. That's all in the essence chart. And so what occurred to me when looking at this today was the story of Ganesha and Muruga. And this all makes sense now because in numerology, the key is balancing the relationships of numbers, how your month and your year can be balanced out, which represents different things. Like your year is more of your unconscious, the month is more of your subconscious, how the year is adapted, and then the day is more like the conscious awareness, the style, the more visible, how this is brought into the world. And like this, balancing the day between the year is your internal environment, the day and the month. And there's calculations that basically you have to balance. There's potential tensions, there's potential balance points. So the whole of numerology is showing you in mathematics, language of mathematics, of where and what and how to balance and what is the result of this. So then let's go on to the story of Ganesha and Muruga, and this is going to make sense in a minute. The story of Ganesha and Muruga are related to the divine mango story. So Shiva and Parvati represents the soul, the essence of the creation. Their 2 sons, the eldest is Ganesha, the god of wisdom, Muruga, the younger son, which is the god of knowledge and also wisdom in the effectual application of knowledge. The wisdom of applying knowledge, seeing what happens, and that wisdom is with Muruga. That's why only Muruga can give you the ability to have wisdom and action. And Muruga represents the number 9, also number 6 as well, particularly number 9 in the context of this. Okay, so Narada, the saint, shows up with a mango. He gives it to Shiva, says, this is the fruit of wisdom. And Shiva wants to give it to his sons, but he decides, let me make a contest out of this, so they have to earn it. And this is how the story goes. The story is ripe with symbology, which I'm going to break down in the context of numerology in a moment. So he says, okay, he's talking to his kids now. Whichever one of you can go around the creation first and come back here, I will give you this mango. That's how you have to earn this. Whoever can do that the fastest has earned the fruit of wisdom. So immediately Muruga, the warrior, perfect body. He's got that perfect masculine kind of thing. He's a really healthy guy, strong, athletic, jumps on his peacock. this real fast vehicle, Vahana. And he sets out and he's blazing around the creation. He's going to be back at any second. He's just going so fast. And Ganesha is watching this. Ganesha is represented here as this pot-bellied, elephant-headed being who rides on a mouse. And he's watching Muruga take off and blazing around. And he's like, I'm never going to beat him if I try to do that. So I have to use my intelligence versus instead of my action. Muruga here is using the action principle. Ganesha is using his intelligence principle. Let me think about this. And he says, okay, right. I can't beat Muruga going around the creation, but what I can do is, I got it. So what Ganesha does is he circumvents his parents once. He stands in front of them and he holds out his hand and says, give me the mango. And his parents, knowing what's going on, he said, explain. Ganesha says, you are the essence of you are the world. So by going around you, it's the equivalent of going around the whole world because you're the essence. The whole world's rooted in you. And the parents smile and they give Ganesha the mango. At this time, Muruga is getting back and he's upset. And so what it's showing you is there's a lot of obviously things you could pull out of this verses, which is wisdom over action and shooting first, asking questions later versus contemplation, thinking about it is one idea. Also, the different principles that Muruga and Ganesha represent, which is the Rahu Ketu, and there's so much stuff. But in the context, what I'm trying to say here is Shiva and Parvati, Shiva and Shakti is the essence chart in your numeroscope, which is the numeroscope means your 5 charts all in one. So you can be like Muruga and go through and try to balance your outer psyche, your name chart, your vocation, your personality charts, and then come back to the essence, because the essence is where you're actually going to find fulfillment. So like if you have in your vocation desire chart or in your name chart, some placements that's going to bring you money and success and fame. If you are not aligned with your essence, you won't be able to enjoy it. And this is where you see this wisdom in a lot of rich people who have this inbuilt like karma to have this success. But there's a thing in the United States where there's so much, it's like #1 country in the world for therapy and stuff like this, because people are chasing things and getting and achieving things without having the wisdom, without being aligned with their essence, which is what that's actually going to bring them fulfillment, which is how you're supposed to, your motivations, your perspectives, your actions, your context. You can have a bunch of money and things, but if you're not rooted in your purpose, you're not going to be happy. And this is exactly what it's showing. So you can be like the Muruga and go around the whole creation, all the different name charts, and balance those out, and then eventually make your way back to the essence chart. Or you can be like Ganesha. Ganesha is symbolizing, in this case, you just stick and align with the essence chart. Adopt all the behaviors, the motivations, the desires, the purpose, the actions, the ways of thinking, the ways of feeling, the ways of expressing those thoughts, the ways of expressing your emotions, the awareness to cultivate. If you just align yourself with the qualities of the essence chart, is the equivalent of going around Shiva and Parvati versus going around the farther world. And so what I realized is I've been doing meditation and reflection for well over 10 years. I've been in the spiritual path. And I've been able through that time to cultivate alignment with my soul in a very, very high level way. And having now numerology as a reference point, I now see that the essence chart, how I came to this conclusion, which took me well over 10 years, the key to that is in the essence chart. It's a shortcut. So I did the Muruga, in other words. I went through this long, arduous process, which is not bad. Of course, I learned many things that is fantastic. However, the essence chart here is the Ganesha. If you know your essence chart and understand how it works, how it needs to be balanced, how it can be aligned, how it can be expressed, it's the key that will shortcut. I could do what I did in 12, 13, 14 years of this path in a much shorter amount of time if I committed myself to aligning with the essence chart. So that's the reason I'm making this video, is to convey the value of particularly Chaldean numerology, which is considered the spiritual numerology. There's definitely value and merit in Pythagorean numerology, don't get me wrong. I've just been attracted to the Chaldean, which is considered older and like Pythagorean was supposed to have learned Chaldean first and then made his own system off it. So Chaldean is kind of like the first one. It's considered the spiritual one. Long story short, a lot of the stuff in Chaldean, the specifics, is not in the Pythagorean. Pythagorean is much more distilled. Well, they'll use like your name, and they don't really use compound numbers too much. They kind of use the master numbers, but they don't look at the compound numbers. They don't have the numeroscope calculations. And Chaldean is much more, I would say, an advanced numerological system, generally speaking. So the value of knowing your birthday and understanding the context of what the different components mean and how they balance out and how to wield that birthday is so valuable. So I do recommend studying Chaldean numerology, just getting the basics down. I recommend Numerologist Pro as a really good source for that. They're who I'm doing my master's with, and fantastic. If you want readings, though, the master certification is broken out into 4 courses. There's the Master certification for Essence readings, Master certification for Name Change 1, and then the Advanced Name Change 2, and then Business Numerology Master certification. I've just completed the Master's Essence certification, so I am very capable and doing readings. I've already started doing readings. If you're interested in getting a reading with me or wanting me to look at your essence chart, leave a comment underneath this video. For now, we'll go do it that way. I also have a website that I'm going to be changing soon. This is a very rough and tumble, just get it up. It's Aumrah-Hakodesh, Aumrah-Hakodesh, HAKODESH.com. And I have some contact info on there as well. So study your essence chart, understand it, and it is the key that unlocks decades of understanding that you can use the Ganesha. You can shortcut the whole process by really understanding what it is and how to align with it. Questions, comments, feedback, leave them under the video. As always, wishing the best. God bless.